Hey guys, here we are on a Monday, and a lot of releases, a lot of things to talk about. From what I understand, Patrick Bet-David is interviewing Benjamin Brafman. He's a powerhouse attorney. You guys all know Patrick Bet-David is a good friend of mine. He's doing an interview with Benjamin Brafman right now. And I wanted to get a few things straight because he told Patrick that he wasn't my lawyer. Now, I had Jerry Shargell as a lawyer. John Gotti had a lawyer. I mean, if you look at the case, both of the lawyers, John's lawyer and my lawyer, was thrown off. So I had to hire a lawyer. I hired Benjamin Brafman. It was towards the end of the case, before it started. And when I cooperated with the government, all of this happened. And I never told him that I had cooperated. So I guess they must have went to him and told him, you're not going to be his lawyer. He's left, he's gone, he's with us, whatever. So he's right in a way that he was never really officially my lawyer. Of course, I didn't go to trial. But I did hire him. He's a great lawyer, a top-notch lawyer. So I intended to fight the case. That'll show you, just in that alone, that I intended. It was a lot of money. And so I intended to fight. And when I got that little conversation with John, I quit and left. And I didn't tell him that I was going to flip or that I flipped. So he never knew it. I guess, like I said, the government went to him and told him he's not on. He's on the Patrick Bet-David show right now talking. I just got a text message that he was there. You know, and I don't blame him. Like, you know, I cooperated, so he didn't want to be part of that, I guess. But I knew him. He's a great lawyer. He's a good guy. I consider him my friend. I don't know what he's saying about me, but whatever he's saying, that's the way I feel towards him. Whatever he wants to say, to maybe depart himself from the flipping part or whatever the fuck it is. So, you know, at least I wanted to put you up to date what was going on the Patrick Bet-David show. Now, there's a few more things that I wanted to discuss before we get into answering questions back and forth, is that we now have an app for OurThing.tv. It'll be on Android phones. We're still negotiating with Apple. If we get Apple, then we'll be on all phones. You can hit the app. You can watch right from either your computer, your laptop, or your phone. And you'll get direct access right into the show. You don't have to fumble around. There's a lot of people that fumble around, but I think the app is going to help you and me. So we're working on that, and that's coming out soon. And then, you know, I wanted to talk about another thing, but I figure I'll talk about that one a little bit later, about somebody made an accusation about me banging somebody's wife or girlfriend. And so I'm gonna bring a witness and explain what happened over there. Should I do it now? How many people are there?
358.
All right, I think that's enough. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get on the phone right now. And hey, guy, listen, I'm being accused that I banged Funzy's wife or girlfriend, you know, and so I want to clear it up. So I want to ask you, did you bang Funzy's wife or girlfriend? No, not me. So you heard it here first, right from Buck himself. He had no part in that. Now, knowing Buck, he could have did things on a sneak from me, I don't know, but I don't think so. So now we know, we cleared up those little details.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Just the facts. Bringing in some facts. I mean, Buck, don't be embarrassed. You told the truth. People love you. So take a bow. That a boy. All right. Let's start with some questions before I get knocked off the fucking platform here.
Okay, well, before we get into questions, can we get a couple of shout outs first?
Sure, absolutely.
So let's give a quick shout out to Danny Murphy. It's his birthday today. Super
Hey.
loyal listener.
Happy birthday, Danny.
And then let's also give a shout out to James and his daughter Ariana.
Happy birthday, James and Ariana.
It's not her birthday. She just said hi, she's watching.
Oh, all right.
And then to Nick Tyrone and Sean McPeak.
I and Nick Tyrone.
All right, so let's start with the questions. We've got Gas Can Lip from last week. Sammy, do you think the group CERN, I guess they're a European organization or something, they split atoms, is going to open up a portal to space aliens, demons, and strange phenomena?
The CERN.
It's CERN. I mean, we're going to open up a platform. You
No,
know,
they're- yeah, he wants, I guess, Gas Can Lip wants to know whether or not you think they're actually going to go through with that and open it up to aliens and demons and whatnot.
I don't know. I'm going to put my name in to be a guest if it happens. I'd like to talk. I mean, there's a lot of fucking people from Mars living here right now, so I think it's a good idea. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it's a good idea.
We have Ryan Brown. He said, Sammy, did you know Kevin McMahon?
Kevin McMahon. I believe he was with the Westies. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if it's the guy that I'm thinking of and he was with the Westies, I did know him.
Okay, he also wants to know if you're ever going to activate your cameo again.
My cameo?
Manet.
Manet,
Yeah.
Which is Patrick David's.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not connected no more.
No, you
No,
said
you're-
Manet.
Yeah, we use Manet now.
Oh, we use Manet.
Yeah.
Yes, it's with Patrick. Yes, I use Manet, so I won't go back to the...
Or you can buy it on ourthing.tv, a 30-minute sit-down.
Yep, we got 30-minute sit-down or personalized message.
Or a
guys gotta go
personalized
on-
message. Yeah, we
on our
have all
shop.
those things. A personalized message, a 30-minute video. I had quite a few of them. You know, there's a lot of guys who talk to me. And I really, really had a good time because I had some really, really good conversations with guys and a woman. I even performed a ceremony, a wedding ceremony once. It sounded crazy to me at first, but I wound up doing it, and I made the two of them overnight. I made them inseparable, be the best day of their life, just like they tell us when we're going to get married. I told them. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time, and so I enjoyed quite a few of those. So we'll have it that we don't call it cameo, we call it personalized
sit-down.
message,
Mhm.
and
She goes, oh my God, is that really you? Like, she was shocked. Her hands are on her face. She was like, in a white dress. She was beautiful.
right. That was great. And she didn't know to start off with. He did that, right?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
made the call and did all of that. Says, I have a surprise for you. It was great. It
She
really,
literally didn't think that you were live on it. She thought you were just sitting there frozen on a recording or something.
yeah.
It was cool.
It was live, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. We have Gas Can Lip again. Sammy, my gumbada, what is your take on goofball people canceling Christopher Columbus Day? I used to love the San Francisco events.
You know, it's the craziest thing in the world. I don't know. You know, Italian people, my friend, poured so many. I'm not going to talk about mafia guys, but I'm going to talk about a lot of, like my mother and father, good people, Italians in this country, did so many good things. We had women who were seamstresses and worked hard. You know, so many good things. I'll tell you something with my mother and father. When I was born, everybody talked Italian in my house. They were all immigrants. And I grew up learning how to speak Italian. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, my father had told my mother and the rest of the family, we came here to this country. This is their country, their flag, their laws. We have to respect those laws. We have to speak English. Let's teach the kid how to speak English, not, constantly Italian. So I lost most of it, if not all of it, but I lost most of it except for the dirty words. And that's the way it was. That's what immigrants were back then. And they invented the RICO law against Italians. Then they take Christopher Columbus Day away. I don't understand the reasoning behind these things. I really don't. People have a holiday. They treasure their holiday, whether it's Italians or Irish or German or Jewish or Catholic, Christian, no matter what you are. Why do we want in this country to fuck with people who belong here and take things away from them that they can pray to or enjoy? And we want immigrants to come in, an open border, and we give them everything under the sun. It's like total disrespect to people who live here, no matter what race or nationality you are. I mean, and we open the border and treat these people like kings and queens, like what they did. They broke the law and they came in here. So, and I think someday we're going to be, I don't know about me, but we'll live long enough to regret what they're doing right now. And I don't think it's too far in the future, to tell you the truth. So.
Okay. Moving on, we have Robert Sullivan. Did you ever work with Frank Balistrieri and the Milwaukee Mafia family?
No, I've heard of them, but I've never worked with them. I never had the pleasure of meeting them. I heard they were good people. They ran their family well. And I don't ever hear any kind of beefs or anything about them, So, but I didn't know them personally, no.
Okay. Frank Logan asks, what was your lowest and highest point in life?
My highest points in life was, growing up with a great mother and father. I always had them around me, no matter how much I fucked up, how bad I was. They were always there for me. Of course, getting married, having children, becoming a main guy in the Mafia was another highlight of my life. I won't lie about it. I looked up to the Mafia in a way. The lowest points of my life was being involved in some of the murders that I was involved in. Like I said, when you break rules, you die. But I understood that, and I was part of it. But killing people or that I liked or loved was really a low moment in my life. Cooperating with the government and betraying my oath, I take an oath serious. With my girls, my team, my life, my friends, business partners, I take my word and my oaths very serious. So that was another low moment in my life. And then there's always more little bumps in the road, things that happen, things you would do differently. But I always have this answer because I answered this a lot of times. And I heard other people answer it too. If I didn't do what I did from birth all the way through, I wouldn't be me now. Being me now, I like me. I like myself. I like what I do. I work with people, good people. I give them opportunities. I treat them pretty good. I'm a little rough talking. Some people resent that or get mad or get a little disappointed in the way I talk. But I like what I'm doing now. I live up to my word all the time. If you break your word, I'll break mine. But, I think what does it, what makes us all, it's what you went through in life. A good marriage, a bad marriage, good kids, bad kids, schooling, all kinds of different things. If you look at it and you look at yourself in the mirror, that's what made you what you are today. So, and if you're not a good guy or you're a good woman or doing the right thing, then I guess it's looking in the mirror isn't that big happiest thing in the world. But if if you change your life, even if you were bad, you change your life and you're happy at what you're doing now, look at yourself in the mirror and feel comfortable. And all of those bumps in the road, all of those problems that you dealt with, it's hard to talk about people's problems. People go through some miserable things in life. So, but they have time to change their life, go forward, and they'll be proud of themselves. I mean, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm trying to leave my mark, what I'm doing in Hollywood. And, I sit down with this live Q&A. I hear a lot of people, friends of mine who have shows, and they're doing it too now. And they get 200, 250, 300, and they're overwhelmed. Wow, that's beautiful, 400. I get 1,000, 12, 13, 1,500 people. And I'm at the tip of the iceberg at this. When my movies and everything come out, I think I'm going to have 5,000, 10,000 followers. And to me, that's, when my son talked to me about it once, and he had heard that we had 1,200 people on, and he said, wow, Dad, that's a ton of people. And, I stay to it. You guys are loyal. I try to be loyal. I try to come out. I try to joke and play games and tell you the truth. Like Ben Brofman's on a show right now, and I'm talking about it, and all kinds of things. And a lot of times I like to talk about other things. There's guys, breaking my balls, badmouthing me or doing things. I don't answer because I feel like it's beneath me. I mean, we're all going to have people talk negative about us at some point in our life. And that's jealousy, envy. They hate the fact that you're doing well, or all of the knocks. You're supposed to be on your ass, you're not on your ass. All the marriages that were kept together and all of the children who got through because of the hard work of their mothers and fathers. There's so many good things. I hate the negativity part of it. I hear it. I'm knocked about it. I was joking about talking to Buck a few minutes ago. But there was a guy talking about that I screwed somebody's wife or girlfriend. I never did that in my life. And when I thought about it, I talked to one of the people who I grew up with years ago. And she heard it too. And she said, Sammy, that's not you. And I know who he's talking about. It's not Funzawal or whoever he was saying. It's not his wife or girlfriend. It's Sally Crash's girlfriend, Rita. You remember her? She worked in the bar, 1717, another one on the Cropsey Avenue bar. I says, oh, yeah, that's who he's talking about? Yeah, he's got the names all fucked up. He was never a maid guy. And did you go with her? I said, yeah, I did. I got head once with her. Everybody did. It wasn't a big deal. When I say everybody, I don't want to knock that she did the whole world, but neighborhood guys, tough guys, she gravitated towards that and hung with us. She was sexually permissive. And if she likes you, you went with her. Now I know who he's talking about. He's got the wrong name. He's got everything boxed up. But I don't even want to talk about it. I don't give a fuck what he says. I don't care what anybody says. But I never went after a friend's wife, daughter, anything like that. So
Okay.
I'm comfortable in my with me and Buck. And Buck took an oath right in front of you while we were talking. You heard him. Buck, you want to say it again? I never did it. You hear that? So he never did it. He's telling me he never did it.
Moving on. Okay, El Gato asked last week, actually it's not even a question, it was more of a comment. He said, Zeus Sammy Salute, you should do a Western movie with ugly bandidos, gangsters, outlaws, and undesirables.
We were going to open up a show, and I shouldn't even say it because I think we're going to do it. we were going to open up a show. It was going to be like this, cowboy music, and I was going to come on like a cowboy. I think I'm going to do it, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But I had that thought, and I appreciate your thought. It's the same thought I got to do. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, I don't act like a big heavyweight, but I like to come out and entertain a little bit, have some fun and have some laughs. And some people, it bothers them. So I don't really give a fuck.
Okay. John Ball asked last week, can you tell us a bit about Frank Lacasio? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. He didn't elaborate anymore.
Frank Lacasio, he was the acting underboss for a little while. I became the underboss. And then he became the acting consigliere. He was a good guy, a tough guy. He was from the Bronx. He had the Bronx crew. His son was in the life. He had a guy in there, an Albanian guy. I can't think of his name right now. A real good guy, tough guy as well. It was, you know, a quiet guy, basically, low-key type of guy. I got along with him very, very well. You know, we went out of town together, different times, and we did all kinds of things. We did work together. I was in jail with him when we got pinched. He was pinched with me and John and him, and we went through a lot of the same things. You know, I have evidence, and I'm going to show it one day, that years after he got a lawyer, and the lawyer never asked me a question about whether my opinion, if he was guilty on the charges of Louis DeBono, the murder. And I had told the government, my thoughts were no. They said, well, you're not a lawyer. He's part of the administration. I don't want to argue with you guys. But if a lawyer asks me if he was part of it, his lawyer, I'm going to say, in my opinion, no. And you're right. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a prosecutor. And I'm not an FBI agent. I may have cooperated, but I'm none of those things. I'm a gangster. And what I'm going to say on the stand is going to be the truth. And then they said, one thing I'll give them, they caved right away. Sammy, tell the truth. Don't lie. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. But his lawyer never asked me. His lawyer was on somebody, same guy who says I bang these people, this guy's show, and said, talked about me in a negative way. He's still a lawyer, I think. He shouldn't have a law license, because John Gotti threatened him that if he asked me these questions, he would kill him. And he backed up. Never asked me the questions. Years later, after the conviction and everything, when John Gotti died, Frankie Lacasio finally had enough courage to say, this is what the lawyer did, I want a new trial. The lawyer was interviewed by Jerry Capisi, and he admitted that's exactly what he did. I put in documents, and I have the documents, so I'm going to show them. At one time, I'm going to show the proof that I backed Frankie Lacasio to get a new trial. His lawyers approached me. I gave them a document under oath that he had nothing to do with the actual murder. He knew it was going to happen. We all know. But he had no part in the murder. I did. John Gotti did. The people who killed Louis DeBono did. But not Frankie. So, but someday I'm coming out and I'm going to show the documents, and I'm going to show the newspaper articles from Jerry Capisi talking about the lawyer, everything. So, yeah, I testified in the trial and he was convicted, so they'll say I ratted on him. I'm the one who tried to save him and get him out. And that I'm going to show you the facts and documents. The second they filed with Leo Glasser, the judge, he denied the motion for a new trial. He denied to even listen to me. They went, his lawyers, and took it to the Second Circuit. The Second Circuit sent back a paper, and I'm going to show you all these documents. because I have them, that give him another hearing and bring Gravano in and put him on the stand under oath. The judge refused to do it. His bosses, he refused it. And Frankie wound up dying in prison. So it wasn't me who put him away, it was John. If John would have allowed his lawyer to ask me the questions, he would have never got convicted. And again, I have all of the documents, all of the proof. When I do a story about that, I'm going to bring the papers when I do an actual video about it, and I'll put all the papers there. You could take them down, look at them. They're all court documents and stuff like that, FBI papers, everything, to prove what I'm saying. So,
I'm gonna get the papers.
I got the papers.
Amen.
Okay, 2 more questions. Jacqueline Moore says, Sammy, I love the show. Is it true Frank Matthews lived on the same block with Big Paul and he hated the backyard parties, loud music played by Frank and friends from Harlem?
Frank Matthews, I believe, was a black guy. Was he a black guy?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Could be.
All right. I believe he was a black guy. And from what I heard, there was, and it was not a beef or anything like that. And there really wasn't many parties in Paul's house, loud music. He didn't, that wasn't his style. That wasn't him. So I don't know how much truth there is to that. I heard it the other way around, that there was a wealthy guy, it could be this black Mathis, and maybe Paul asked him to lower it down a little bit. But they got along. From what I heard, they got along. It wasn't a problem.
Okay. All right, last one. Here's the deal asked. Is it true Sam Giancana was simply a front boss to Tony Accardo? Or whom did New York consider to be the outfit's actual boss?
There was different bosses at different times. Sam Giancana was actually a boss. Al Capone was, but and there was Big Tuna, Tony Accardo, his name is Big Tuna. They called him. He was a boss. There was different bosses at different times, so they were all bosses. They were all heavyweights. Sam Giancana was very, very active in the hit on the President of the United States, John Kennedy. And I know there was messages sent from him to different bosses, the boss in Florida, the boss in Louisiana, and Carlo Gambino. So there was a lot of bosses who talked about this hit. There was CIA who was involved in the hit. There was a lot of things. It's going to come up. I'm doing the history of the Mafia pretty soon. I'm working on that. And I'm going to work on it with a few guys. I don't want to say their names yet. We're working on making it very, very factual. And we're going to make it as good. I got James Carroll back. He's going to be doing it like I did my podcast, the filming and stuff like that, recording and stuff like that. And a lot of that stuff is going to come out in my history of the Mafia. And I got it pretty well down pat from great sources. I told this once or twice, I'll say it again. It was the FBI, I said, came down to talk to me. Now, I thought about it, and somebody talked to me and said, Sammy, it wasn't the FBI. It was the CIA we told you was going to come down to talk to you. I don't remember it that way, to tell you the truth, but I thought it was FBI guys. But whoever they were government. They came down to talk to me and they said, we want to ask you some serious questions. And I said, all right, go ahead. And they said, what do you know about the hit on JFK? And I said, are you guys kidding? They were you guys. I'll tell you one thing. The guy on the grassy knoll was not a mafioso. We don't do that. It's not our style. We're not even close to that. And I understand there was a lot of people. Hold up, hold up. They told me, hold up. This meeting, they told the FBI guys, this never happened. Scrub these notes. And they left. And I think I told the FBI guys who were sitting there with me, wow, what did I hit, a raw spot? Did I hit something that they don't want to hear? And that's the way it ended. But when I do this history of my life, I've found out even more than I knew then, now. So in the history of the Mafia, and I'm going to put it out on my website, ourthing.tv, it'll be there every week like my podcast was. So all you guys who loved my podcast and watched it, wait until you see this. And this is going to leave, I want to leave behind the actual history with facts and documents. I think I'm able to do, with the people I'm working with now, I think I'm able to do that. I even have some ex-CIA guys who are talking to me now. Sammy, you were pretty knowledgeable. Yeah, I said, now I'm a lot more than a pretty, knowledgeable. I'm very knowledgeable right now. I think I know more than just about anybody. And so I'm hearing all kinds of things, and I'm going to do this. You're going to love it. I'm going to love doing it because I want to leave that behind. When I'm gone, every college and university, every movie studio want to do something, they're going to look at that video and they're going to fucking do their homework. You're not going to look it up in Google or all these other places. You're going to look it right up on wherever I leave it. So that's my goal with that.
Awesome. All right. That's it for the questions from last week. Anna, you're up.
Whoa, how goes it, Sammy? You got a ton of super chats, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Adam Scott wanted to, when you were talking about your word, Adam Scott wanted to do his Scarface. I don't break my balls or my word for no one. That was horrible. I didn't do it very well. But that's
that's good. That's a good.
Jack Ruby wants to know your thoughts on the feds digging up on some old Gambino property in upstate New York currently.
I heard of that. I read about it. A couple of people sent me messages. I have no knowledge of what they're doing or who they're trying to dig up or what they're trying to do. Who told them what? I've been out of the life for quite a while. So I really don't know. But I'll tell you one thing I do know. When they go digging, they don't just do this because you tell them something. Somebody's telling them something that's giving them enough interest to go out and get backhoes and whatever equipment, all kinds of agents there. If it's somebody's property, they need, court orders. They're not doing all of that unless they have something that they believe. Now, what it is, I don't know. So I don't have any firsthand knowledge of it. I do know people. I asked around. They said, we heard it, Sammy. We don't know. Be honest with you, we don't know what the fuck they're doing. And those are people in the Gambino family who are still active. I'll never say their name, but they told me they didn't know. Same like I saw it, I read it, but I really don't know.
Awesome. I saw a couple comments come in about O.J. Simpson's passing over the weekend. Any thoughts or feelings on that?
I saw a lot of that stuff coming out. People, fuck him, this, that, remarks. Listen, I always thought he did it. He got away with murder. I think I know what happened. Right before that, there was a whole incident about black people, and they didn't get justice, which was a legitimate thing. So now when he did this, he's a black guy, they picked a jury. 11 black people and 1 white person. So that jury almost sent a message, fuck you. You've got away with murder there, we're doing the same thing. Because there was a lot of evidence. It was clear as a bell that he did it. It looked like, I followed the case, it looked like he did it. I'm not one to say he did, I'm not sure. But what I will say is that he's dead. over. It's over. And he has kids and grandchildren. Leave it alone. I don't want to say anything negative. Let him rot in hell. Fuck all that bullshit. I don't do that. He has children, grandchildren, people who love him, whether he's guilty or not. I'm sure there's people who love me no matter what I did. Leave them alone. They did nothing. Let it rest in peace. It's over. So I have no interest in it whatsoever. I don't want to comment other than, goodbye and good riddance, and I don't want to say anything too negative for the family reasons.
All right, Paul. Paul from Arthing.tv is asking, in the HBO Gotti movie, they use the term king of the volcano to describe the boss of the family. Is volcano a real term you used in the life?
Every time I had sex, I used the word volcano. I think a few times. I remember her saying something. I said, volcano? No, I never heard of it used in the Mafia.
Oh, my God. So another movie Hollywood fluff that's not true. Like they fluff up these things to get the effect.
Yeah, that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood. They get all these cutesy sayings and statements and stuff. I never heard that in the street.
Yeah. Let's see. Created for so much more in the super chat. Charlie Moose and Tommy Bush. I'm gonna butcher this. Babashuka. Bruschetta.
Something like that.
I'm just kidding. 1717 Club in Brooklyn over Mimi Captain Colombo family. This makes no sense. Created for so much more. Okay.
You just read it all.
I just read all of it and my neurons did not fire. J. Marie, any new bullpen episodes coming soon? I miss watching, boss.
Yeah, well, I think there's going to be episodes and things that we do. But I'm really, really looking at is movies, and I'm bent on that. And I'm in contract with some of them, and I'm not allowed to say certain things because it's going to be in the movie. So you're going to watch it, whether it's on my podcast or in a movie. You're going to watch it, and I'm doing the same thing. We're getting facts. You know what I love about the crew I'm working with, a team, heavy team, that you're going to love this team. I can't say their names, but just yet, but you're going to love it. But they want to meet everybody I know. They're back talking to people. I'm getting phone calls from a woman that I knew 40-something years ago. They got in touch with her. What did you know about Sammy? I mean, they're talking to people, state organized crime, federal government, DEA. What I like is they're working on facts. They don't want this to be a movie or a scripted show based on the truth. They want this is a factual movie. Mm-hmm. So, or a scripted show, whatever you want to call it. So they wanted to do that, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. When I told my podcast, I might have made mistakes here and there, a date or a time or a place. I may have misjudged. Over here, I don't think they're going to misjudge nothing. They're going to have it down. You're going to love this. And I'm doing the same thing because I'm using them as they're using me to help me with the history of the Mafia. The more questions and facts and things they get, I get it. And I'm going to use it in the history of the Mafia as well. So, like I said, the CIA guy calling me up. Now, I could quote things like that. I think he was I don't think no more. Mm-hmm. He is a fucking CIA guy, and he's talking to me. Mm-hmm. So, these are facts and things that, what I assumed is reality. What I assumed really wasn't reality. So I might as well get it the fuck out of my head because it was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. The way sometimes you look at something, you could be wrong a little bit. I never forget the Castellano hit. They had 100 witnesses, 100 100 witnesses. The agents told me, Sammy, there was 50, 60, 70 different kinds of stories. They were big, they were fat, they were tall, they were short, this, that. Everybody sees something differently. And they weren't lying, it's just that way. I could lean over to Anna right now and tell her something about some guy. She could lean over and tell the story to Amina and get it slightly twisted. By the fucking time that story comes back to me, I never heard that. You're the one who told it, me? So it's just that way. And a lot of times I learned that in prison too. I would go to bed. They'd get me up in the morning and give me breakfast, do all this bullshit. And they'd have all the newspapers when I was testifying. And I would read them. And a couple of times I would read this article. And what I said, I understand. So I says, hey, Bo, the agent, hey, Bo, come here. Do me a favor. Read this fucking paragraph. Why? I want to ask you. Read it. The guy read it. Did I say that? Understand? Am I losing my fucking mind? Did I say that? He said, no, Sammy. He said, you better get thick skin. It's the newspaper. They're writing stories. Sometimes they exaggerate it to make the article sound better. No, you didn't say that. So not everything you read in the papers or hear is the truth either. Twisted for one reason or another. Maybe not just twisted or maybe not a lie, just the way they perceive it. You know, I remember, let me get back to sex. I had sex with some woman, and it was fucking great. But she didn't think so. She said it wasn't that good. I said, who the fuck do you go out with? I mean, so it depends on who you're asking and how it was to them. So, you know, let me get off the sex things.
You know what's crazy is that the saying truth is stranger than fiction. It is so true in this case because your life has so many common threaded together moments of fantastical. People don't even believe it, and I'm like, you can't even make this shit up.
Listen, my lawyer, you know the story with my lawyer, becomes she's a terrorist. I'm appointed by the court, the lawyer. Mm-hmm. And she winds up getting busted as a terrorist while she's representing me. You can't make this shit up.
And then what was the thing you told me the other day when you're like, oh yeah, the Oklahoma City bombing, we were going to land, but we couldn't but we were headed there. And I'm like, wait, what?
You know, when it was, you know, the government wanted to talk to me about going in the program, witness protection program. And I didn't want to go. They put me on a plane, and I'm going to fly down to Washington to go to a meeting, a big meeting. And they wake me up, and the plane is going to stop in Oklahoma. They're telling me where we're going, when we're going to stop. You know, we could get something to drink or whatever. And the plane don't stop. So I said, hey, bro, I thought we were stopping in Oklahoma. He said, yeah, there was a whole terrorist act. He thought it was a terrorist act. So I said, a terrorist act? What happened? They blew up the building in Oklahoma. It was that day I was on the fucking... I didn't see nothing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's crazy. But we didn't stop in Oklahoma because of the explosion in the Oklahoma building. They thought it was a terrorist act, I guess, that same day. Then they realized who it was. And we kept going. And we landed somewhere else. I don't even remember where. And then we went. So you can't make this stuff up. It's not like I even want to make it up, like to make it sound good. I just don't believe these fucking things. I just barrel into these things. I don't know how or why.
Yeah.
And then I get arrested with the Iceman and so many other fucking things. It's crazy.
Wild. Vincent Fiorenza. Did Paul Castellano and Tommy Bilotti have a big funeral, and did you go to it?
No, of course I didn't go to the funeral. None of us went. I don't think Paul Castellano had a big funeral. Something with the church. They didn't want to, just make a big thing out of this thing. I don't remember if Tommy Bilotti had a big funeral. It wasn't big. They must have had a funeral, maybe strictly, family and a couple of friends. It wasn't a big deal that I remember. Or like when Carlo Gambino died, it was fucking armies of flower cars, and you know, it was huge. No, Castellano was totally different. And the violence, the way he died with the violent part, the church reacted in a negative way. They didn't want to make a big deal out of it. They felt like, you know, that's, you know, I don't know why they did that, but they did. And he was buried in Staten Island, I believe, and it was a graveyard over there. I believe they might have dug him up and moved him somewhere else, but I think he was in the graveyard in Staten Island, not too far from his house, stuff. I guess it was his wife and his children and stuff like that, and some cousins and uncles. I don't think it was a big mafia funeral. I don't remember it if it was.
Thank you. Daniel in the super chat. Any stories about Lenny's Pizza on 86th Street?
Lenny's Pizza, I mean, listen, that was a great pizzeria. But every place in Brooklyn, you know, everybody had great pizza. If you came in and opened up a pizzeria and you weren't great, you went out of business in 6 months. Because anywhere you went, they made great pizza. And it all boiled down to the water. Augie, Joe Bush's brother, he got a guy from New York, Brooklyn, and he was a pizza maker. He made a great pizza. And he took him to Florida, and they opened up a pizzeria. The pizza was horrible. Same baker, same dough, same everything, how they make it. They couldn't figure out why. And one of the guys said, could it be the water? They shipped these big bottles of water down to test it out. And it was the water as sure as God made apples. The pizza was great. They closed up the restaurant in Florida because they can't ship down water. Water's heavy. So if you're shipping down that much water, the pizza would cost you a fortune. So it was the water, but a lot of people in New York, there was tons of places that had good pizza.
Is it the same for the bagels and the Bialys?
Same thing, and I think it was the water as well.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. There was good, you know, I opened up, my wife, I think it was, opened up a place in Arizona, Manhattan Bagels. We had a bagel store in New York before I flipped and left. And so that went down the tubes. So when they came to Arizona, they opened up they called it Manhattan Bagels. But even my wife, ex-wife, said, they're just not the same. We do the same exact thing. They're just not the same. And I told her, because I knew the story, I said, more than likely it's the water.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it. Just keep making bagels.
I remember Manhattan Bagels on Baseline in Tempe.
Yeah. Yeah, that might have been them.
Yeah, they were good. I used to go with my mom when I was a kid.
Yeah, that might have been them. I was just getting out of jail, and they had just lost it, so I never even went in it. But I was just getting out of prison, and it buckled it. They lost it. Then they opened up Uncle Sal's Italian restaurant, and it wasn't named after me, Uncle Sal's. It was Uncle Sal's. We bought it that way with that name. So everybody thinks I named it after myself. I didn't.
Danny Murphy, Sammy, did you ever have any dealings with the Vegas or Chicago mob? Did you know Tony Spilatro? And did they ever come over to New York?
No. I didn't have any dealings. Like I said, there's a lot I know about Sam Giancana and a couple of guys and what happened there. But they didn't even call themselves the Mafia. They called themselves what the fuck did they call themselves? The outfit.
The outfit, yeah.
The outfit. And when Al Capone went there and started it up, there was problems between the Irish and the Italian. There was a Sicilian mafia there. Al Capone was actually chased out of New York, and they made him go to Chicago. It was like a nothing thing. He became a big shot heavyweight, obviously. And the Sicilian Mafia liked him because he wound up in vicious fights with the Irish. And the Sicilian Mafia was duking it out with them on a very small scale. He beefed it right the fuck up. They liked him. Another reason they liked him is that people from New York would say, oh, what the fuck is this guy? He's making a fortune down there with the unions. What's that? He showed them how to make money. He didn't teach them, but he was doing it. They saw what he was doing, and he was making money with the unions left and right. He would get the workers in like a hotel. All different workers belong to unions. So he could bully the fucking place into giving them money, and they would never have a union problem. And that's how they learned so many things from him. He also made a lot of money in prohibition, stuff like that. But he wasn't super liked by the New York factions. The Sicilians liked him. I guess the guys around him liked him. And then he went away with the tax evasion, and he had the sexual thing. What is it?
He had syphilis.
Syphilis. And if you never he never treated it. If you never treat it, you lose your mind, you go. And that's what wound up happening to him. But he was a tough guy in New York. He was more of a bouncer at first. That's how he got that scar on his face. Mm-hmm. I think he tried to bounce the wrong guy one night and got a scar. But he got in trouble in New York with a bunch of guys. I think it was Frankie Yale, one of the old timers, big boss back then, told him to get on the horse and get the fuck out. And he did.
Damn. Thank you, Sammy. Vincent in the super chat. Hi, Sammy. You talk about planning your hits with crash cars and etc. Do you guys ever sit around and critique how hits were done and how they can be better in the future?
No, we really didn't do that. I was a thinker. I thought out hits. There's usually somebody who's in charge. So I thought them out. To me, everyone was different. It's a different person. They live a different life. So everything changes. It's hard to critique one plan fits all. I don't think that's the way it's done. As far as a crash car or backup shooters and stuff like that, most guys started using that or did that, as far as I know. I know I did. The most important thing is there's three things. Is the guys who are going to do the shooting. I don't want 50 guys to shoot them. I need one or two. And everybody else has a different job. It's not that their job is any less. They do a life sentence if they're caught. But so first of all, to do the actual murder, the shooting. Secondly, is the getaway, to make sure those people get away. A crash car, he may not even have a gun. If he's being chased by the police, he crashes into the police car. He's got a license, you went to the side, whatever. So there's a different plan, and it's a different situation all the time. But after a while, I don't know if they used things I did before me. I would assume they did. I didn't look at what they did. I didn't follow that. I did what I thought was right. And I think that's why I got called so many times to do work, because they knew that. Some guys are just thugs. I'll shoot them, boom, boom, and then you're shooting like a stupid ass.
The gavoon?
Yeah, like a gavoon. I went into prison and I talked with a guy, and he was a pretty nice guy, Spanish guy, and he was pitched on. They went into a bodega, and they did an armed robbery, and they shot the guy. So he was telling me the story. He pulled a gun, and he told the guy, "Give me the money." The guy opened up the register and gave him the money. He shot him in the chest and killed him and ran out. Got caught. So I told him, why did you shoot him? He said, what do you mean? I said, you just told me, you pulled your gun, you told him, give me the money. He opened the register, gave you the money. That's what you were in there for, right? Yeah, but Sammy, be a witness, he's seen me. If you're worried about that, why didn't you wear a fucking mask? A woman's nylon stocking and distort your whole face. So you went in there, you didn't give a fuck, you were gonna kill him and just rob him. And that's not dangerous people. These are assholes. These are not hitmen. These are just complete assholes. Killed the guy for no fucking reason. Now, when I'm doing a hit, I want to make sure that I want to try to make sure that nobody innocent gets hurt. We did a hit on Castellano and Tommy Bellotti in front of, it's out there, the story's out there, tens of thousands of people. Not one legitimate person or a cop got hurt. So that's planning. That just don't happen. I knew where cops were. I knew where everything was and how everything was going to happen and where it was going to happen, who was going to run where, who was going to do what. I'm not doing it. Tomorrow's another day. I back off. There was another time I was going to hit a guy, and he came into a building in a parking lot. He lived, and I had knowledge of it, and I had all my guys in there. We were on walkie-talkies, and they said, Sammy, he just pulled in. He's pulling in the garage now. I got on the phone. Everybody get ready. He's just pulling in now. He called back. Sammy, what? He's got his girlfriend with him. He's an 18, 19-year-old kid. I said, everybody, back off. And we walked out. One of the guys asked me, Sammy, why we walk out? We had him. And what are we going to do? Kill his girlfriend? An 18, 19-year-old kid, what does she know? She's coming on a date. Another day. We're not doing that. Now, somebody else might have did it. A Roy DeMeo type of guy might have killed both of them. I didn't. So, there was a kid who got shot once, a young kid. They keep breaking my balls with it. I talked about it a few times. I have no intention to keep talking about it. But he ran at one of the shooters and got killed. Now, if you're going to do that, you see a guy doing a hit, back the fuck away, go the other way, run the other way. Don't attack the guy with the gun.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm not going to get into that whole story, but...
Yeah, you guys go check out the video with OC. He goes into the whole story if you want to hear the whole thing with OC Shorts.
Yeah, thank you, yes. OC did the story, I told the whole story, and that's what it was.
Vinny, thank you, Sammy, for sharing your stories with us, boss. Much love to you and your yous and yours.
Thank you, bro.
Giovanni, sometimes when a hit guy whacked someone, families had them killed also to cut off all the links that could trace back to them. Did this ever cross your mind while on a hit that this could happen to you? No. And what you're talking about, it's in movies and things like that. It was in The Godfather. Years ago, especially in Sicily, the towns are small. When they killed somebody, they always knew it came from the Don. So what the Don would do when he killed you, if you had sons, 12, 14, whatever, they thought later in life he'll be older, 20, 21, 23, he's going to remember what happened and he's going to come for me. So they get rid of him. You saw it in the movie in The Godfather when he goes back and he talks to the Don and he says, my name is Corleone. And he says, oh, that's nice. It's the name of the town. Closer.
And then he says, who's your dad? And he whispers his dad's name. My dad's name is, and he stabs him. See, so that
yeah.
You know, that's in Italy, and they're small little towns. They did that kind of shit. in the United States, we really don't do that. I mean, I haven't heard of things like that. And I wouldn't think of hurting the family, or I wouldn't worry about them coming back and hurting me, because most of the times, the only reason anybody knew what I did is because I cooperated.
Yeah.
I never got caught. None of my people got caught. It was just John's tapes.
And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Apollonia was so cute. Let's see. Mets fan. Hey, Sammy, is your daughter Karen all finished with the Mob Wife show?
Oh yeah, that's over a lot of years ago. She's in Jersey right now. She opened up a place where you get facials and stuff like that for women. Yeah,
Med Spa, the Body Depot.
the Body Depot. You look it up, the Body Depot in Jersey, and she's doing great work. My daughter's a hard worker. She loves that type of work. She's been doing it for years. She's licensed in Arizona. Then she went to New York. She got licensed over there because all the states have different licenses. And then she went to Jersey. She's got a license there. She's got a partner with her. I think her name is Melissa.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's
Jessica,
Melissa. Her and Melissa, they opened up a beautiful place. And my daughter, here's how she is. She's a beast, bro. She puts the fucking walls up herself, painted herself, plastering. She does everything.
God, yeah.
And now she does, work, and it's doing very well.
Yeah, she does those super popular head spa treatments.
Yeah.
Booked.
Oh, I need a couple of those to get some hair back. I'm so fucking.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Gas can lip. Sammy, if I run into my ex-girlfriend at the grocery store and she's with her new boyfriend, I have not seen her in years though, so what's the best way to act and what would the bull do?
Hey, life goes on. I would say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Period. With a smile on my face.
Yeah.
I'm not going to whine about shit that happened in the past. People break up for different reasons. Listen, I broke up with my wife quite a while ago. I still treat her good. I have total respect for her. I didn't have a vicious, nasty fucking divorce. I don't believe in that. I went out with some girls, Louise, another girl, Lorraine Pye, years and years ago. I get along with all of them. I never had a vicious thing. Sometimes you just don't click or you don't fit, but I don't carry those kind of grudges. Some relationships, don't work out, and sometimes they could give you a reason to dislike them, but if you broke up with her and didn't work, she's happy, she's got a boyfriend, you're happy, you got a girl, or you got your life, or whatever, it's worth the smile. Hello? Mm-hmm. Because the other way you look like you're fucking sick about it, that it broke your fucking heart, that what are you going to be, nasty? So she'll know and he'll know. He can't take it. Be a man about it. Yeah. Smile. Wish her luck. She'll respect you more. She may even regret she walked away from you. Mm-hmm. Depends on how a new relationship is. But I wouldn't do anything. Sammy would just say hello. Wish you luck. Adios. Maybe I would even leave out the motherfucker, which I'm going to say at the end. So I'm not sure.
All right. Ryan Brown. Sammy, did you know Roy DeMeo's cousin Joseph Guglielmo called Dracula?
Yeah, it was his uncle. Dracula, I believe that was his uncle. And he worked in the bar on the corner. And at 4:30 in the morning, when there was one person left, a drunk, he'd call Roy up. We got one. They would go in, snatch him, bring him in the club, kill him, cut him up, get rid of him. For no fucking reason. If that's not a serial killer, I don't know what is.
It's crazy. Gilbert Goobies Castro. Why do the movies always throw the gun on the floor after a hit?
I don't know. I'll be fucked if I'm going to do that. I never
like
did
Michael
that.
Corleone.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, the Corleone did it. I don't know why they would do that. They put tape on. Listen, why would I do that? Or anybody? That's movies. That's Hollywood. Because your fingerprint could be on it, even if it's tape. a DNA, a hair off of your head gets stuck on the tape. Why would you do that? One. Number two, you're going out and a police car pulls right up. What do? It's not me. I'm not me.
Finish my dinner.
Yeah.
What does he say?
I'm just leaving. No, because I don't know why anybody would do that.
Eric DuPont Klingshirn. Hey, Sammy, what's your personal strategy for anger? I'm pretty quick to get fired up, almost to an unhealthy level. Any advice?
Yeah, listen, I got a temper too. The girls could tell you. That's you there laughing.
I'm just quiet back
I got a
here.
little temper too. You got to cool off. Especially there's good people around you. You got to try and cool off. I mean, don't go overboard with it. Nothing with your hands. Don't hurt nobody. Don't do nothing. Don't slap nobody. Don't hit no women. Yeah, I understand about getting mad and getting a little stupid. You know what you should do? As soon as you can, run back and apologize. As soon as you can. I started working on a gimmick that if I have an argument with somebody and it's a woman, and even a man, I'd like to give that person a hug when it's over. Because half the shit I said I don't even mean. Just stupidity and anger made me pop out stupid fucking words. And, Paul told me a long time ago, words mean something. You pull the trigger of a gun, the bullet goes somewhere and it hurts somebody. You can't stop it. Words do the same thing. So you got to watch your words, especially when you get mad, because you're always saying something stupid that you don't even really mean. So, I had arguments with my wife. I loved her. We argued. I said stupid shit. 5 minutes after the argument, I still loved her. And I hated myself for what I said. I never hit my wife. I never raised my hands. I really don't. I never raised my hands to women, period. But, so try to cool down as best as you can. Somebody told me a long time ago, and in prison, guy told me, he said, Sam, you got a little bit of a temper. I said, yeah, sometimes. It depends on what you say or do with me. He said, you want to know something you should do? What? Turn around, walk away, and take a real deep breath and hold it in for a couple of seconds and then blow it out. Nice and easy, slow. If you need it, do it again. By the time you're done the second time, you blew it out of you. It's not there anymore. It's not as much as it was. I found that to be pretty true. Some people bite their lip. Some of the greaseballs used to go, they would bite their hand. They're not really biting it hard, but they're biting it enough that they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk. They don't want to let that word out. They don't want to bring it to another stupid-ass level. So that's a good thing, too. So a lot of things, you have to know yourself and where you're about to blow a little bit and back the fuck up. It takes you. Nobody's going to back you up. You got to take it yourself and say, I know where I'm going with this. Let me get the fuck away. I would tell a friend or a woman or anybody, that's enough. I don't want to argue. Get away. Leave me alone. Get away from me. And I'm not embarrassed to run away from a woman if she gets too aggressive. Not that I'm afraid of her physically. I'm afraid what I would do, or if she made me in this fucking weird place. So I'm afraid of myself. So I would run away. Let her throw things, let her hit me, let her smack me. I'll run. Get the fuck away from her. Calm down. Because end result, if you don't, sooner or later you're going to put yourself in a fucking jackpot where you're going to hurt somebody that you really didn't want to hurt, or you're going to get in trouble for hurting for somebody that you should have never did, and you're going to kick yourself in the ass 800,000 times. Grow up. Get older. I don't know, you must be a young guy, maybe. Mm-hmm. If you're a young guy, get older nice and quick. Calm down. Now, if a guy steps to the plate and steps in your area, and you got to man up, period. Some people won't let you off the hook. Guy will throw a punch at you, punch back. Be a man. I'm not telling you not to be a man. Don't be a coward. Be a man, but be a good man. Try. Try to avoid it. You know, I'll get in a car and they're blowing their horn or something, and it angers me right away. I don't know why. But then I just grab a cigar. Where's the lighter? I want to do something else. I really want to open the fucking door and get out. But I want to do something else. And by the time that he's pulling away, I'm pulling away, forget about it. And I'm glad. I'm glad it happened that way.
Yeah.
But you got to be a man there. Sometimes they just will not let you off the hook. They, you know, some people will take kindness for weakness. Those are the people you'll get in trouble with. Because they'll take that kindness, think you're a coward, and just keep pushing until you explode in their fucking face. And then maybe they'll regret it. So you got to do that too. I hate to say those things, but we're men. We have to be and act like a man when it comes to it. You know, I always remember growing up, what did men do? A ship. The ship is sinking. Save the women and children. Not anymore today. The guy's pushing the women, the kids out of the way. He wants to get on the boat and get the fuck out of there.
Right.
I think it's disgusting.
Like the Afghanistan withdrawal.
Right, right.
Terrible.
Be a man when you have to be a man. That guy, Andrew Tate, I listened to him. I like him. He makes a lot of sense. He's obviously a tough guy, fights in the ring, and he talks in life. Even listen to him. Tells you to be a man, but he tells you to be a good man.
Yeah.
So that's my advice here. And if you want to listen to Andrew Tate a little bit, listen to him. He's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah.
And a tough guy.
Thank you for coming to Sammy the Bull's TED Talk. PSA announcement.
Right.
Motherfucker. Sammy, we're going to do one last question, and please remind your beautiful viewers that if you did not get your question asked this week, that you'll circle back to it top of the show next week.
Yeah. Listen, guys, have a great weekend. Summer's coming in. Weather's changing. Have a great couple of weeks, couple of months. Me over here, we need some air conditioning. Now, we were complaining a little bit about the cold. Now we're complaining about the heat.
I know.
But have a great time. There's a lot of things coming. Be a little patient. My guys and people, fans on Patreon, we're doing some nice things there. We're trying to make that grow as well. You guys are great, loyal people. We weren't putting stuff out. Nobody wanted to leave. I got to make it up to you guys. We're going to try and get as much stuff from my website down there. We want to get as much stuff on there for your entertainment. You like that channel, so we're going to try and juice it up a little bit.
Awesome. Sammy, one last question for you is from Cyber LA Rudy. Is the Iceman a legit hitman? I've heard no one knew about him. He looks like a con man to me.
He's a con man. I got busted because of him in a cold case, killing a cop 21 years prior in my life. It wasn't true. He said I'm going to give you a few things he said. He said he killed Roy DeMeo. The government went running down. Oh, you killed Roy DeMeo? Yeah. You put him in the trunk of a car? Yeah. Public knowledge. Why'd you put that thing on top of him? He did not answer. Because he didn't kill him. In the trunk, when they put the twins killed him, and they put him in the trunk, there must have been a chandelier. And they had taken it out, threw him in the trunk, threw the chandelier back on, and it wound up on top of him and closed the trunk. It's not a sign, it meant nothing, but he couldn't answer. And then he finally admitted that he didn't do it. So he was a fucking liar. I went to trial. I did every fucking thing. And I got a ton of proof. It's a story. It's a major story with me that comes up but he's a fake. He killed a couple of people in his life for petty bullshit crimes. One of them that he borrowed $1,700 off the guy and then killed him. He didn't have balls enough to beat the guy up and take the $1,700. He borrowed it and then killed the guy, so he didn't have to pay it back. He was a piece of shit, low life. He said he killed 200 people. Yeah, you know, he didn't kill shit. He was a fake and a phony. I got a tremendous story with him. You'll hear it come out someday, whether it be in the movie or wherever. It's going to come out. I'm going to talk about it. I was on trial and I got pinched, and I did a lot of time because of this fucking punk lying bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Punk lying bitch?
Punk ass, motherfucking ass.
That's a
punk
lot.
ass,
That's a lot of
punk
cursing for
Just
one
kidding.
guy.
Anna Marie, you're. I kissed my mother with this mouth. Sammy Gravano, take us out, my friend.
All right, kiddo. So here I am. I'm winding it up. I got the old this here. So adios, motherfuckers.